Wrong number texts from a grieving woman became my routine until the day her messages suddenly stopped. I never imagined those pixels on my screen would lead me to steal a life, his life. And now, in the mirror, staring back at me is the face of the man who framed me for murder, his eyes burning with my rage. My name was Avery Kane, and for 3 years, I'd been rotting in a 6x8 cell at Stateville Correctional Center, just outside Chicago. Framed for a murder I didn't commit. Hell, I didn't even know the guy whose blood ended up on my hands. Victor Hale, my boss at Hale Dynamics, the slick defense contractor kingpin who'd built an empire on government contracts and backroom deals, had pinned it all on me. I was the fall guy, the loyal engineer who'd trusted him with my career, my life. He whispered sweet nothings about promotions while siphoning funds into offshore accounts. And when the feds came knocking, he served me up on a silver platter. Avery's the one with the gambling debts. He'd lied in court, his voice smooth as aged bourbon. Desperate men do desperate things. But desperation? That was his game. I discovered his secret months before the raid. Hale wasn't just embezzling. He'd covered up a drone strike glitch that killed civilians in some godforsaken Middle Eastern village. Faulty code I'd written under his orders. But he buried the reports, blamed a ghost server, and let me take the heat when the whistleblower angle flipped back on us. The murder? A loose end, some hacker kid who got too close. Hale's security goons handled it. But my DNA ended up on the scene because I'd shaken the kid's hand at a conference. Planted evidence, a tampered timeline, and boom, life without parole. Prison strips you bare, turns routine into religion. Wake at 5:45 a.m., chow at 6, yard time if the guards felt generous. Mine was the burner phone smuggled in by a lifer named Rico, who ran bets in the laundry room. No calls, just texts wrong number ones. At first. Missed you at dinner tonight. The kids are asking for you, from an unknown 312 number. Chicago area code. Like mine. I should have blocked it, but loneliness is a thief. I replied once. Wrong number. Buddy. She fired back. Sorry. Grief makes the days blur. My husband. He's gone. Feels like yesterday. Her name was Elena. We never exchanged real ones. Not at first. Wrong number texts became my lifeline, a digital confessional in the dead of night when the cell block howled with nightmares. She'd vent about her loss, car accident, sudden. Her high school sweetheart behind the wheel, leaving her with 2 boys and a mortgage in Lincoln Park. I'd share scraps, the food sucking, the fights breaking out over nothing. How the walls whispered regrets. You're stronger than you think, she'd type. And I'd believe it for a minute. It was innocent, or so I told myself. In a place where trust is contraband, Elena's words were smuggled hope. Then, 6 months in, the messages shifted. I found his old phone today. Text to someone named Victor. Affairs? Lies? Why does it still hurt? Victor. My blood ran cold. Victor Hale. I probed gently. What did this Victor do? She spilled. Her husband, a mid-level exec at Hale Dynamics, had been Hale's right-hand man, the one who handled the dirty ops. He came home shaking one night. Wouldn't say why. Then the accident. Cops said brakes failed. But I know Victor pushed him too hard. That man's a snake, ruthless. Always one step ahead. Elena was Hale's sister-in-law, widow to his Patsy. The kid I'd killed, her husband's cousin, sniffing around the drone scandal. It clicked. Hale had orchestrated the whole chain, sacrificing family to protect his throne. Betrayal doesn't get deeper than blood. I confessed bits of my story. Anonymized. I'm paying for someone else's sins. A powerful guy. Thinks he's untouchable. She raged on my behalf. Burn him. Make him feel the cage. Our texts turned conspiratorial. Plotting hypotheticals. If you could swap places, walk in his shoes, what would you do? I joke. I dismantle his world. Brick by brick. The routine held for 2 years. I'd count down to lights out. Heart pounding for that buzz. Elena's words painted escapes. Picnics by Lake Michigan. Her boys' laughter echoing off the waves. She sent blurry photos. Sandy toes. A thermos of coffee at dawn. I hoarded them like contraband gold. Then, one Tuesday in July, the drought hit. No good morning, stranger. No rough night, just silence. I texted, "You okay?" Nothing. Elena. Echoes in the void. By lights out. Panic clawed my gut. Rico slipped me extra minutes on the burner, still dead air. I didn't know it yet, but Elena was gone. Overdose. The obit would later say pills and wine. A widow's unraveling. But Hale? He'd pushed her too. Cutting off her widow's benefits. Whispering poison about her instability to the boys. Her last text. Timestamped 2:17 a.m. Sat undelivered in my outbox. Found proof. Victor killed them all. Help me end it. 3 days of radio silence. And I snapped. In the yard, under the razor wire sky, I cornered Rico. Need a favor. Big one. He eyed me like fresh meat. What's the play? Is it? I'd overheard whispers in the block, some black market doc running experimental swaps out of a Gary warehouse. Brainwave tech. Neural mapping. The kind of sci-fi shit Hale Dynamics prototyped for DARPA. Body swaps. Rico chuckled. For a price. You wake up in someone else's meat suit. But it's one way.
Cabrón.
No refunds. The price was steep. My commissary stash. Plus a favor to his cousin on the outside. Deliver a package. No questions. Controversial? Hell. It was suicidal. Trading one cage for another skin. Gambling on a glitchy miracle. But Elena's ghost demanded it. If you could swap, her words haunted. And Hale? Untouchable in his glass tower. Schmoozing senators while I festered. The decision burned. Mercy killing my old life. Birthing a monster in his image. The swap happened on a storm-lashed night, August 12th. Blindfolded in the back of a panel van, bouncing over potholes to that Rust Belt hellhole.
The doc, Dr.
Voss. A defrocked neuro-whiz with shaky hands and a morphine habit, hooked us to his jury-rigged rig. Neural echo chamber, he slurred. Maps the mind. Echoes it across. But pain.
Oh.
The pain. The us was me and a proxy. Some junky double for Hale. Prepped with his hair sample and a stolen MRI. No real swap with the man himself, not yet. This was phase 1. A dry run to hijack a life, close enough. Voss's tech was Hale's discarded prototype. Leaked after the drone fiasco. Irony tasted like rust. Strapped to cold tables. Electrodes biting skin. The machine hummed to life. Agony ripped through, fire in my synapses. Memories fracturing like glass. Elena's text flashed. Burn him. Then blackout. I woke gasping, Not in my bunk, but a king-sized bed in a penthouse overlooking the loop. Silk sheets. Skyline glittering like fool's gold. Mirror across the room. Not my gaunt prison face, but the junkie's, pockmarked, hollow-eyed. Failure?
No.
Voss's voice crackled over a hidden speaker. Echoes partial. You're in the double's shell, but Hale's neural shadow lingers.
Get to him.
Finish the map. The proxy life was a downgrade. Eviction notice on a Roach motel door. Debts piling like snowdrifts. But I had a lead. Hale's charity gala that weekend. Black tie schmooze for war widows. Elena's face swam up. Her boys orphaned twice over. I pawned the junkie's watch for a rented tux, slicked back greasy hair, and crashed the Gold Coast ballroom. Crystal chandeliers dripped light on power brokers and tails, air thick with cigar smoke and whispered bribes. Hale held court by the bar, silver fox in bespoke Armani, laughing that baritone bark that masked venom. I sidled close, heart hammering. Mr. Hale? Avery Kane sent me. His eyes narrowed. Arctic blue. Kane's dead to me. Rotting where he belongs. I leaned in, voice low. He knows about the drone. The kid. Elena. The name hit like a gut punch. His smile froze. Who the hell are you? I slipped him a napkin-scribbled code, Voss's trigger sequence, lifted from the doc's notes. Your prototype. Time to echo back. He crumpled it, but the seed was planted. That night, in his tower, Hale activated the device, Curiosity, the serpent's bite. Voss's rig, hidden in my proxy's motel, synced remotely. Pain again, but this time mutual. I felt his mind clawing, a tidal wave of arrogance. Secrets, the glitch code I'd written, buried under his signature, the hit on the hacker, ordered overstake at Gibson's, Elena's husband, suicided, in that crash to silence, loose lips. Then snap, the echo completed. I jolted awake in his body, sprawled on Italian marble, his silk pajamas clinging like a second skin. Hale, trapped in the junkie's husk, probably screaming in that Gary warehouse. One-way ticket. His hands, trembled as I rose, staring at the reflection, chiseled jaw, salt and pepper hair.
The face that had damned me.
Power surged through veins not my own. Emails pinged, board meetings, senator calls. Elena's texts, deleted from his phone, but her ghost lingered in the silence. This was no routine anymore. This was war. I poured a scotch, his favorite. Macallan 25, savoring the burn. First move, access the vaults. Hale's biometrics unlocked everything. Offshore ledgers. Redacted drone files. The proof I'd died for. Betrayal's blueprint.
But revenge?
It demanded decisions that'd curdle milk. Leak it all. Watch the empire crumble? Or wield it? Twist the knife slow? The mirror man smirked back, my rage in his eyes. Avery Kane was dead. Victor Hale had just been born again. Dawn cracked over Lake Michigan like a guilty verdict, painting Hale's penthouse in bruised purples. I paced the loft, his monogrammed robe swishing like a trader's whisper, testing the fit of this stolen skin. Every step echoed authority, elevators that bowed to my thumbprint, doormen snapping good morning, Mr.
Hale.
The illusion held, but inside,
it chafed.
His memories flickered like bad reception, golf with defense secretaries, mistresses in the Hamptons, the thrill of burying bodies, literal and figurative. I'd glimpsed the safe during the echo, a velvet box with Elena's wedding ring. Pawned for hush money. Bastard kept trophies. First order. Contain the leak. I summoned his assistant, a sharp-eyed brunette named Lila, mid-30s. All business in pencil skirts and concealed contempt. She breezed in with coffee and tablet, not batting an eye at my disheveled state. Sir, the board's antsy about the Q3 projections. And that reporter from the Tribune sniffing around the drone program. I waved it off. Voice gravelly with his timbre, stonewall her. Offer an exclusive on the charity wing. Lila arched a brow. Hale never bent, but nodded. As you wish. Anything else? I hesitated. Probing. Elena Voss's boys. Status. Her pause spoke volumes. In foster care.
Sir. You.
Cut the trust fund last month. Said it was too risky with her history.
Risky. The word ignited me.
Elena's history, the one Hale fabricated, painting her as unstable to seize custody leverage. Her boys, 8 and 11, bounced like ping-pong balls while he golfed. Controversial decision number 1. Reinstate the fund. Anonymously. I hacked his accounts from the home server, ironic. Using my engineering ghost to breach his firewalls. 10 million wired to a blind trust. With a note. From Uncle Vic. Make it right. Let the lawyers spin that. But no calls to the kids. Too soon. Ghosts don't dial direct. By noon, I was in the Hale Dynamics Tower. Glass walls humming with AC and ambition. Employees parted like the Red Sea, fawning nods. Great to see you energized. Sir. Energized. My foot. Adrenaline from the heist, laced with dread. The C-suite office overlooked the sprawl, Willis Tower stabbing the clouds. The river snaking like a vein. I sank into his leather throne, firing up the encrypted drive. Secrets unspooled. Emails to Black Ops firms. Payoffs to senators. The drone schematics stamped with my old signature. Avery Kane. The patsy engineer. Scapegoat for a glitch that vaporized a school bus. 23 kids. Hale's memo. Collateral. Enhance the narrative. Heroic intercept. Nausea hit. His stomach rebelling against my fury. I dry-heaved over a wastebasket, tasting bile and betrayal. This wasn't just theft, it was possession. His sins seeping into my marrow.
But purpose anchored me.
Phase 2. Dismantle from within. I scheduled a strategy pivot, board meeting tomorrow. Pitching a full audit. Transparency initiative, I'd call it. Lips curling at the lie. Let the vulture circle. I'd feed them Hale's own flesh. Afternoon blurred into schmooze. Lunch at the Palm with Congressman Reyes. Steak bleeding on bone china. He probed. Eyes darting. Victor. That Tribune hack, she mentioned Kane. Loose ends. I leaned in, channeling his charm. Kane was a symptom, not the disease. We're curing it, Reyes chuckled. Clinking glasses, sealed with a briefcase of campaign contributions. Power's currency. Dirty as ditch water. Driving back in the Bentley, his lead foot now mine, I mulled the moral rot. Was I avenging Elena? Or becoming her oppressor? The radio droned a podcast on ethics and AI. When does the tool become the tyrant? Fitting. Evening brought the gala's echo, a cocktail hour with donors. I spotted her across the room, Lila, nursing a gin, chatting with a silver-haired exec. She caught my eye. Something flickering, suspicion? Or the ghost of Hale's leers. He'd betted her once. Per the memories, discarded like yesterday's brief. I approached. Casual. Lila, join me on the terrace? Wind whipped off the lake, carrying diesel and distant horns. You've been
Off, sir.
the Elena thing, it's not like you. I probed. What do you know about her? She lit a cigarette. Defiant. Enough. She called once. Hysterical. Said you'd killed her husband. I hung up. Smoke curled like accusations. Controversial decision, too. Truth serum. Hale style. I gripped her arm. His strength. My intent. She's right. And I'm fixing it. Lila yanked free. Eyes wide. Who are you? The question hung. A precipice.
Lie.
And the charade crumbles. Confess. And I'm exposed. Someone who owes her. I released, stepping back. She searched my face, his face, and exhaled. Prove it. Get those boys out of the system. Alliance forged in smoke and secrets. As she vanished into the crowd, my burner buzzed Rico. Junkies singing. Hails in the wind. But Voss wants out. Price just doubled.
Panic spiked.
Hale loose? In that proxy shell. He'd be clawing for leverage, calling feds. His goons. I texted Voss. Stall him. Wired extra.
Then.
Impulsively. Elena's old number. No reply. Of course. But a ghost message auto-sent. Her final draft. Unsent. Avery. If you're real. End Victor. For us.
Us.
Her boys. The dead kid.
Me.
The weight bowed me. Night deepened. Insomnia's grip iron. I raided his liquor cabinet, pacing to jazz on the bows, Coltrane's wail mirroring my storm. Memories assaulted. Hale's childhood, silver-spooned in Kenilworth. Daddy's firm-handed on a platter. But cracks, a mother who OD'd young, echoing Elena. Pity flickered. Snuffed quick.
He chose the path.
Dawn brought the boardroom. Oak table. Egos inflated. I pitched the audit. Voice steady. Clean slate. Or we all sink. Murmurs rippled. Pushback from the old guard. Hale's cronies. Radical. Victor. Investors hate surprises. I smiled. Teeth bared. Surprises built this company. Trust me. Post-meeting. Lila slipped me a file. Elena's autopsy. Not suicide. Traces of rohypnol. He visited her that week. Rage boiled. Pure Avery. Hale drugged her. Staged the end to bury her probes. The ring in the safe? Mockery. I pocketed the report, vowing no more proxies. Direct strike. That night. A tail, black SUV. Mirrored shades. Hale's remnants? I ditched it in a Wrigleyville alley.
Heart slamming.
Safe house, a company Pi de Terra in Wicker Park. Stocked with cash and burners. There. I mapped the endgame. Leak the drone files to the Tribune hack, anonymous drop. Custody for the boys. Via Lila's legal pull. And Hale? Track the junkie husk. End the echo. Controversial? Assassination in borrowed skin. But justice wears gray. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of Elena's texts morphing to accusations. Who are you now? I woke to rain lashing windows. A text from unknown. Kane? It's Voss. He's coming for you. The swap. It's reversible. Reversible. The twist I dreaded. Hale. Clawing back. Rain hammered Chicago like divine judgment, turning streets to mirrors of my fractured soul. Voss's text burned in my palm, Hale's palm, reversible. The echo wasn't one way. A full sync could yank me back, trap me in that junky shell while he reclaimed the throne. Or worse, mid-swap limbo. Two minds in one meat grinder. I met Voss in a dingy diner off Cicero. Steam fogging windows. Grease thick as regret. He hunched in a booth, twitchy under fluorescent buzz, nursing black coffee laced with whatever kept the shakes at bay. You weren't supposed to dig this deep. Kane, he muttered, eyes darting to the door. Hale's goons are circling. He called from a payphone, screaming about identity theft. Neural rape. Rape. The word landed like shrapnel. I'd justified the swap as poetic justice, but Voss's gaze stripped it bare. Violation.
Pure.
How to stop it? I pressed, sliding an envelope, 20 grand. Blood money. He pocketed it. Voice a rasp. Full remap. Needs proximity. Both bodies in the chamber. But he's feral now. Holed up with muscle. Your old cell block pals. Ironically, Rico's crew? Hale had bought loyalty faster than I could. Betrayal's echo. I left with a vile neural blocker. Voss's Hail Mary. Inject him mid-sync, or you're done. Driving back. Wipers slashing fury. Elena's Ghost Road shotgun. Her messages replayed. Make him feel the cage. But whose cage now? Mine? His? The boys? Lila called mid-commute. Custody hearing tomorrow. I pulled strings. Your anonymous donation helped. But the social worker's Hale's cousin. Dirty. Powers web.
Sticky as sin.
Double down, I said. Leak the autopsy. Frame it as corporate negligence. The leak hit the Tribune by evening. Defense mogul's dark secret. Widow's death tied to exec pressure? Anonymous source me. Through Lila's proxy. Hale's PR spun frantic damage control. But the stink lingered. Stock dipped 3%. Bored emails flooded my inbox. Victor. What the hell? I replied in his clip style. Navigating. Buy the dip. Schadenfreude soured quick. This was chess. Not checkers. Pawns falling. King exposed. Nightfall brought the hunter. Black SUV tailed me from the tower to a supposed client dinner in River North, decoy to flush Hale. I spotted the proxy husk in the crowd, shambling, eyes wild under street lamps, flanked by two ex-cons with prison tats and bulges under jackets. Hale's glare through that ruined face, my stolen rage inverted. He lunged as I ducked into an alley, rain-slick bricks scraping palms. Give it back, he snarled, voice mine but cracked. Fists flew, his borrowed bulk against my engineered precision. A knee to the gut, elbow to throat, Hale's memories guided the brutality. One goon cracked a pipe. I dodged, vials slipping from pocket into puddle. Chaos erupted. Sirens wailed distant. Blues closing. I grappled the second thug. Choking holds from yard fights Rico taught. Hale broke free. Snatching the vial, fate's cruel flip. You think you're me? He spat. Jabbing the needle into his thigh. Blocker self-dosed? No, antidote. Per Voss's hidden note. Sync initiated remotely. Pain lancing my skull. Visions collided. His boardroom conquests. My cell block despair. Elena's final gasp. She begged me to end it, he gasped. Truth twisting. The proofs. I spared her the scandal. Liar. Or was he? The alley spun. bodies crumpling as cops swarmed. Hale collapsed. Blocker hitting wrong. Overdose? I staggered free in the scrum. Badge flashing. Hale's influence. Misunderstanding. My security detail. Cuffed for show. Released by midnight. But the fracture deepened. Back in the penthouse. Mirror mocked, bruises blooming on his perfect jaw. My awkwardness bleeding through. Who was puppeteering now? Dawn's custody hearing. Oak-paneled courtroom in the Daily Center. Air stale with bureaucracy. Lila stood sentinel. Filing motions while I, Victor Hale, philanthropist, testified in silk tie. The judge, a grizzled vet with Hale's golf club dues, eyed me wary. Mr. Hale, your sudden interest in the Voss children. After cutting support, I leaned forward, voice honeyed venom. Redemption. Your honor. Family matters. The social worker, Hale's kin, squirmed under cross. Autopsy leaks painting negligence. Twist. I dropped the bomb. Fabricated memo from his files. Pressure on Elena Ree. Inquiries. Gasps rippled. Gavel fell. Temporary custody to Lila. Pending full probe. Victory tasted ash. The boys, wide-eyed, clutching backpacks, glanced my way. Confusion etching their faces. Elena's mini-MES, seeing Uncle Monster. One whispered to Lila, he looks different. My gut twisted. Controversial decision 3, proximity poison. I couldn't stay away, but closeness risked the echo's pull. Driving them to a safe house, trust Lila's aunt in Oak Park, I caught snippets. Mom said Uncle Vic was bad, but he helped. Debatable saviors. Afternoon. Tribune interview. The hack with fire in her eyes. Victor. The leaks, suicide or cover-up. I parried. Planting seeds. Internal review ongoing. Kane's ghost haunts us. Her pen paused. Kane claimed innocence. You testified against him. Probe deeper. Off record. I slipped a drive. Drone files. Redacted just enough. For Elena. She paled. This could topple empires. Good. Let it. Evening fractured further. Rico called. Hale's alive. In ICU. Blocker misfired. Coma's his cage now. Relief warred with dread. Voss texted. Sync unstable. Your mind's eroding his. Hallucination soon. Already starting. Elena's voice in the shower steam. Finish it. I visited the hospital under alias. Hale's cloud opened doors. Proxy Hale tubed and beeping. A vegetable king. I gripped the rail. Whispering, feel the cage. Nurses bustled oblivious. I palmed his chart, noting the neural anomalies. Reversible? Maybe. But mercy?
No.
Back home. The real haunt, a package on the doorstep. Elena's handwriting, postmark pre-death. Inside, her husband's flash drive. The proof she'd teased. Files unspooled. Not just drones. But the accident, brakes tampered. Yes. But by her husband himself. Suicide pact? Note attached. He couldn't live with Victor's sins. I followed, but faltered. Forgive. My world inverted. Elena's grief? Self-inflicted wound. Hale's betrayal? Partial truth he covered, but didn't push. The texts. Our bond. Manipulation? She'd targeted Avery via wrong number hacks, reeling me for revenge proxy. Nausea crested. I'd swapped lives on a lie. Orphaned boys for a ghost's vendetta. Mirror shattered under fist, his fist. My blood. Controversial?
Catastrophic.
Climax brood. Expose all. Or bury deeper. Lila buzzed. Boys settled. But Hale's waking, docs say lucid. The echo called. Chicago's wind howled apocalypse through the penthouse vents, mirroring the storm in my skull. Elena's drive scorched my laptop screen, her husband's confession video. Grainy webcam plea. Victor's poison. But I enabled it. The glitch. The kid, I pulled triggers to keep the lights on. Elena knows. End us. If you can. Her note. Avery. I chose you because your byline was on the code. Guilt's chain. Break it for the boys. Manipulation's masterpiece. I'd been her avatar. Texts a siren's lore. Betrayal reversed. Not just Hale's. But hers. Mine. Self-deceit sharpest blade. Dawn broke bloody. Sun bleeding over the lake. Hale stirred in ICU. Per Lila's frantic text. He's asking for you. Lawyers inbound. The echo tugged. Neural threads fraying. Hallucinations crept. Elena at the breakfast bar. Sipping phantom coffee. Eyes accusatory. We both wore masks. I dressed his Brooks Brothers armor and drove. Bentley devouring miles to Northwestern Memorial. Traffic snarled. Horns blaring urban rage. I gripped the wheel. Debating the kill switch. Controversial decision 4. Truth or oblivion. Expose the drive. Hale walks. Mercy kill the echo. I'm monster eternal. Hospital corridors hummed sterile menace. Beeps syncing my pulse. Hale's room. Private suite. Monitors charting his limbo. He lay propped. Proxy face gaunt but eyes, my eyes, sharp as scalpels. Kane, he croaked. Voice rusty. Or, whoever you are now. No goons. Lila's leak had spooked them. I closed the door. Air thick. Feel the cage. He smirked. Weak. Better than yours. Voss spilled. Wrong number was bait. Elena played you like a mark. Confirmation gut punched. Why cover her crash? He wheezed. Love.
Idiot.
Brother-in-law bond. He begged. Make it accident. I did. For family. Family. The word curdled. His memories flooded unbidden. Holidays with Elena's crew. Her laughter thawing his ice. The drone cover? Corporate survival. But Elena's husband co-signed the berry. You took my hit, he admitted. Loyalty test. You failed, sniffed too close.
Failed?
I'd trusted. Bled for his empire. Rage-crusted. 23 kids.
Victor.
My code. Your orders. He deflated. Collateral. Wars need winners. Dehumanized calculus. American as apple pie and napalm. The echo pulsed. Pain lancing temples. Voss's chamber hidden in the hospital basement. Hale's influence secured it. Remap now, he urged, fumbling the call button. Or we both fry. Nurses hovered oblivious. I wheeled him down. Corridors blurring. Basement. Concrete tomb. The rig humming dormant. Strap him in, his husk mocking mine. Do it, he begged. Give me back my life. Life. Empire of lies. I hovered the injector. Blocker or antidote. Elena's ghost whispered. Choose. Twist ignited. The drive's final file. Unopened till now. Elena's audio. Avery. If you hear this, don't. The revenge? It's the poison. Live for them. Her boys' voices chimed. Mommy. We love you. Suicide's echo. Not Hale's push. She'd staged the OD for insurance, clean break. custody to him, the stable uncle. But faltered, texted me as lifeline. My swap, feudal fury on a fabricated pyre. Controversial climax. I injected the antidote. Sync roared, agony's crescendo. Minds merging like storm fronts. His arrogance, my grit, secrets unspooling. Hale's anonymous donations to drone victims. Elena's hidden affair with the hacker kid, motive for her husband's rage. Truth reversed, no pure villain. Just fractured souls in a machine of mutual destruction. I blacked out, waking strapped as him. Back in the junkie shell? No. Hybrid. Avery Victor. Scars of both. Cops swarmed post-sync. Voss's alarm tripped. Neural terrorism, they charged, but Hale's clout mine bailed us. Released to the penthouse. We stared at the skyline. Boys arrived via Lila. Tentative hugs. Uncle Vic. I knelt. Elena's ring extended, reclaimed from the safe. For your mom. She wanted you safe. Tears flowed. Debatable healing. Ending? No tidy bow. I leaked the full truth. Drone files. Crash confessions. Swap scandal to the Tribune. Hale dynamics cratered. Stock to pennies. I testified as reformed insider. Sentencing light for the frame-up. Boys thrived under Lila's wing. Me their quirky guardian. Ghost uncle with prison tales sanitized. Hale, comatose echo. Mercifully blank. But nights. Elena's texts haunt the silence. Routine broken. Lives swapped. Was it justice? Revenge's child. Ugly. Debatable. Some hailed me hero. Whistleblower reborn. Others. Thief in saint's clothing. Protests raged. Body autonomy now. Ethics panels debated neural ethics. Chicago's underbelly exposed. Me? I walk free, but caged in questions. Avery Kane died that alley night. Victor Hale? A shadow. Merged. In America's grind, power's betrayals, grief's gambles, were all swapped, wondering whose skin fits. And the messages? I keep the burner, waiting for wrongs to right themselves. But silence lingers, a routine unbroken.